News Uncensored. You are now rocking with the best. Make sure that you follow us on social media. Also, share and hit the like button for the best sound in the industry. Go down in the description box and get you a pair of Beats headphones right now. And now for our feature presentation.
Next caller, Eric from Georgia. Eric?
Hi. How do you feel about the beer companies that pulled the commercial you endorsed because of your anti-Jew lyrics?
Well,
Anti-Semitic lyrics would be a nicer way of putting it.
Well, the lyrics aren't really anti-Semitic, and I can't understand. You know, I listen to people like the Simon Wiesenthal and Rabbi Cooper, and am I getting this wrong? Are they saying that they condone what Jerry Heller or some of these other people have done to me? Do they say that it's all right for Jewish managers to get young black kids with talent off the street without without lawyers and without people that was helping me in my benefit to make records? That's what I'm getting out of this, and I really would like to speak to Rabbi Cooper about that, you know, because maybe, you know, if they're getting mixed messages on that side of the table, I'm kind of getting mixed messages on this side of the table, too.
We're talking about the Simon Wiesenthal Center, which said that your album should not be distributed and that people should not listen to it.
For people to think that I'm talking about one man that happens to be Jewish. If this man was green, then I would still talk about it. If he was black, I would still talk about him.
I guess what hurts Jewish people is the fact that you have to say he's Jewish. Why not just say Jerry Heller?
Well,
you know, what you end up doing is saying, okay, this guy's a Jew, and you just sort of said it in your answer to this young man. You said, well, are they, as the Simon Wiesenthal Center, saying it's okay for people like Jerry Heller and Jewish managers to essentially exploit young black men? I don't think anybody would say that, but the question, is it okay for Jerry Heller and Jewish managers? Is every manager who is white Jewish? Is every manager of a rap
No, not
group?
at all, but the Simon Wiesenthal usually backs the Jewish community.
Well, it speaks out for what it
saying
perceives
is
as
this.
discrimination.
No, what I'm saying is this. You know, every time I watch the news, the perpetrators always identified. If they can't use their names, they identify them. Young black male, this. Young white male, that. Female, this. All I'm doing is identifying the perpetrator who I felt did me wrong. Nothing else, nothing more.
Okay, but you understand...
For me to be anti-Semitic in the business that I'm in would be economical disaster and suicide. And anybody in their right mind wouldn't do that to themselves.
But do you understand why the Simon Wiesenthal Center says, what is he talking about? You know, what is this guy saying? Is he advocating exterminating Jews? People are sensitive about that.
Of course, they have a right to be.
Okay, Sue from Illinois. Sue, are you on the line?
Yeah.
What's your question?
What I understand is, all of a sudden, black men come out and they're rapping. They're talking about what's going on in the community, and they have to get banned or stickers on their albums and stuff, and they're telling the truth about what's really going on in our community. But a long time ago, heavy metal, you know, like people would rap or talk about stuff, killing themselves, killing other people in their music, and nothing was done about it.
Okay, Sue, that's a good question, but we're gonna have to wait for Ice Cube to answer it until after this commercial. We'll be right back. Thanks.
Feel dumb 'cause you're caught in the dark. You little nothing now. Raise up 'cause you can't have it back. You say I ain't never got.
Ice Cube is here with us. I'm Barbara Nevins, and I'm talking via satellite from our Atlanta bureau, where Ice Cube is sitting mic'd up. Ice Cube.
Yes.
Sue from Illinois asked why people are picking on you. Why do they pick on black artists when, say, the heavy metal artists advocated all sorts of weird things anyway? Why do you think people are picking on you?
Well, you know, a lot of people don't take the time to follow Ice Cube's career and understand what Ice Cube's about. You know, I'm a young black man with very strong views, and I'm not the only one that hold these views about the system. I'm made in America, and what happens is they like to call me racist, but in fact, I'm the victim of racism. I'm just reacting to the system's racism, and how could you justify by calling me a racist when I'm just a victim?
You know, it's interesting, if you listen to your lyrics, some of them advocate staying apart from white people. You have one song where you talk about castrating white men who sleep with black women. What's that all about?
No, I'm talking about it's a metaphor for raping our people, not only physically, but of our mind, our identity, our religion, our culture, our freedom. That's what it is. And when I say that 400 years ago, Uncle Sam went over and raped the motherland, Africa, of their people, that's what I call rape.
You know, I have trouble because I see the anger out there. I feel the anger directed at me as a white person.
You
Very
see,
specifically.
excuse me, you see the anger, but you don't understand the anger. That's the problem.
Okay.
People don't take time. People think that, you know, the 60s, that we got all the rights that we need and everything is all right. No, you can't give me a wound and just throw a Band-Aid over it. You gotta heal the wound, and then we're able to stand as brothers. But by you just giving me a Band-Aid for a gunshot wound is not gonna do it.
And that's metaphorical, because what you were really saying as just you giving me my alleged rights, suddenly I can't recover. Is that what you're saying?
We lost 400 years of teaching, of schooling, of any kind of knowledge of our culture. And we're right now in the process of getting that back through rap music.
Okay, Cube, let's just go forward with that. Let's just take it to the next step possible. Let's say I understand. Let's say I really do stop to understand. Let's say I stop to understand and millions of other Americans stop to understand. What do we do next? Is there a future for us together without the anger, and how do we do that? Whites, blacks, Asians, Native Americans?
Of course, but it's most definitely on the system.
Well, forget the system for a minute, because that's like something that I can't deal with. I can deal with you as a person. I don't know what the system means.
Well, I have to deal with the system, and in most parts, the people I deal with are in the system. I'm not talking about the guy next door to me who might be a great guy. You know, I'm not angry with that person. Anybody that's down with the struggle and with what Ice Cube is trying to get out and trying to make people listen and understand our hurt, our pain, our cries, I'm down with that. But just understanding ain't enough. What are you gonna do?
Well, that's the point. I mean, if we just attack, say, the system, that doesn't mean anything. But if we together say we're gonna do something, then we do it. Let's go to another call. Wade from North Dakota. Wade?
Hi, Barbara. Hi, Ice Cube.
How you doing?
What's your question, Wade?
I was wondering why his lyrics are so negative, and kids don't, you know, he's explaining everything well, but when kids hear this, they don't logically sort everything out. They take it for what you said. So it's having a negative effect on them. Why don't you write positive lyrics that suggest ways to help things instead of feeding the fire of racism and everything?
Do kids take it for face value, or do you take it for face value? The kids that I run across know who I am and know what I'm talking about and is down with the struggle. The people who don't understand or don't take time to understand, they just see it for face value.
Okay. Dave from Ohio. Dave?
Yeah, I just want to say that I really like the way Cube has changed to kick out, you know, a positive message to the young black. And another thing I want to say is that my man, let my man Cube say what he got to say. Stop cutting him off. And when he says something, you keep running wild with it. Let him speak. Let him say what he want to say. Cube, more power to you, man. Cleveland loves you. Peace.
Thank you.
Okay. Listen, I can't help it. I just run wild with it, too, Cube. I'm sorry. We have Sharon from Mississippi.
Oh, right. Oh, you know, I want to know what was up with, you know, like you said, you cutting Cube off every time he got ready to speak. And, you know, it's like every time he got ready to say something, you'll cut him, you know, cut him short. And Want to know what was up with that. See, it seemed like you putting the brother down.
I guess I'm
I'm
just a
like,
bad
hey,
person.
Cube, you doing something good, man. I want to know what was up with you and NWA. I want to know if y'all getting back together now.
Thanks for calling, Sharon.
Hopefully,
We appreciate it.
Hopefully, me and NWA, we can work out our differences and become brothers, because that's the ultimate goal. But they needed chastising, just like in some cases I might need chastising. We're all growing, we're all evolving, hopefully to be a brotherhood and hopefully to become. So when I talk about the system, I want people to second guess it, second think it, and take up actions that if they see that the system is failing them, take up actions.
Thank
This
you.
is not a physical revolution, it's a mind revolution.
Thank you, Ice Cube, man
Thank you.
of rage. Thank you. Stay tuned next for comedian Dennis Leary.